To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Here we are back at New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast, positivesarcasm.com. Jay here. Like, subscribe, share, donate. Positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. I'm still staring at all the stuff at the walls. Ugh. Check out last week's podcast. But if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, go ahead and hit me at my website, positivesarcasm.com. You can email me directly, of course, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. And you can hit me up on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. Okay. So, yeah, there's the basics of that. This is the second episode from the new spare parts studio down literally just across the street from New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast. Still getting used to all this. There's multiple things here. I'm not going to pretend like and now the news. It's like all this stuff on the walls, getting used to the schedule, figuring out my sleep timeline, and just how I'm incorporating all the new stuff that I need to do in order to make this podcast happen on a regular basis, and just getting, it's new. It's all new. I'm shaking off the rust off. I mean, last week was just and here we are. Where am I? And now we're here like, okay, now let's get to the business here. What are the things that I want to bring to the table as I normally did, but now that I have a little more room, I'm a little more relaxed, allegedly, and things are more in their spot. It's like, okay, what do I want to deliver? What do I want to inform you about? Because I never want you to panic. I didn't make such a cozy spot with such cool stuff and a spot for my drink if my main goal was to make you panic. If I wanted to make you panic, I would literally just put a picture of an atomic bomb right here and a news desk, and I would just tell you to run out to the streets and set your hair on fire and start screaming. That's not the intention of this. The only person who's going to scream is me, but I'm not in the mood for it. I worked in healthcare for almost 13 years, and I've had plenty of mental breaks just in that environment alone, and I am all set, I can tell you that. But on the good news, on the other side of things, I did get a check from the electric company for $8. It's pretty good, huh? $8. $8. I mean, gas prices are probably going to go over $4 a gallon soon. I'm kidding. No, they actually might, depending upon the Israel or Iran thing. But simply, at least it'll get me 2 gallons of gas. There's something to look forward to. And with my shopping skills, this can get me a decent amount of food, actually. You guys really should. You guys think I'm fucking hilarious, but I got to be honest with you. I kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to this thing, when it comes to this situation. To me, when I walk into a grocery store, have you ever seen the movie Death Race with Jason Statham? That's kind of how I am. It's basically like I go in there and I pick up like I drive over the bonus things. I go straight for the meat section. I run over grandma. I see, okay, this is on sale, it's on sale, blah, 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 and I just grab that and I beeline for it. Like it's Filene Basement on Black Friday. I'm just pushing people out of the way because, or not, well, I haven't pushed anybody out of the way, but I'll be honest with you, I'm never going to see any of these people again. A lot of them are 90 and they're probably going to die of a stroke or one too many Ozempic shots. I don't know, but they're just going to kick the bucket. And I'm going to reap the rewards of it. There's a lot of boomers where I am, and they don't have too much longer. But this studio, I'm still getting used to it, and I want it to be a relaxed spot. I wanted it to be a relaxed environment where you could study or do work or do research or things of that nature. Like I got a buddy of mine's wedding coming up, and I had to, shop for things of him and his wife, and I had a discussion with him when I was down in, I was away with him and a few of his friends, and what I was going to get him for a gift and stuff. And I sat in here and I did the work, and it was nice. I could just sit down, turn on a computer. I didn't want to sit on the couch. I'm not huge with that. If I'm sitting on the couch, I'm either, watching a little GMM with the wife, or I'm fucking playing Fortnite. That's pretty much my game plan. Or morning coffee. Morning coffee is definitely a cool thing as the sun shines through. But getting this environment to calmly give you what I perceive as actual useful information, or as I look at around, and I something I should have said last week was, this is a collection of successful a collection of successes and also failures. Maybe not necessarily. I don't know if that has any validity to it, but not just my failures, but other people's. Like, I've collected things that maybe people left on the side of the road, or things from whatever. But ultimately, it's just like there's a TV in here that was left on the side of the road. Now that's my main display screen. $1,000 printer that nobody wanted and gave to me, and it's like, well, okay, I could use that. But there's cool stuff in here, and it's like I'm looking at these things, and it's just an odd collection of memories over the years, and just where I was in my life when I found it, who I was with, or where I was going, or how much money I had in my pocket, where I lived at the time, and now we're in this scenario. So it's kind of interesting to kind of look at it and see, like, oh, what was going on when that happened? And then, of course, my favorite, the Star Trek II Wrath of Khan. I mean, I've seen that movie like at least 94 times. Gets me every time at the end. But so yeah, it would be just like a picture. Like when you, that's one of the things like that's driving people crazy right now. Is the distraction of when you open up your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, X, or you're still old school and you open the paper in the morning. It's just a picture of a bomb going off. Just a picture of a bomb going off because the world is falling apart. Everybody's at war with everyone. There's drug wars. There's immigration raids. There's rape and murder, and there's war here and war there, and the farmers. This farmers union is striking. These anti-ICE protests / riots are going off. And then there's Israel and Palestine and Israel and Iran. And there's Ukraine and Russia, which is still going strong. Great. Funded by yours truly. And then there's that jerk off who sat in that crystal chair. It was like thousands upon thousands of Swarovski's crystals. I think like Van Gogh made it or something or whatever. And this fat fucking American goes and puts his big chunky cheeks on there and breaks the thing in half. I saw that on Instagram. That was fantastic. I was at a museum in France or some shit, and it's like, if you go to like the New York the New York Metropolitan Museum, and you see like a picture of an apple on the wall, do you presume that it's like a scratch and sniff or like one of them lick 'em wall arts? Dude, the thing's like 200 years. That apple is 200 years old. Don't lick the fucking thing. That chair's not for you to sit on. It's sitting there. If it's really shiny, chances are nobody wanted you to sit on it. It said fragile. So fragile for you means I'm 330 pounds because all I eat is Twizzlers every fucking day. And I'm just a big blob of shit. And I need to rest because, my blood sugar's high and I'm starting to crash or whatever. I don't know, whatever. And then you just go and sit down and you break the look. Everybody's wondering if it's American, and they're all joking in the comments. It's got to be Americans and fat-assed Americans. It is. It was definitely us, and you know what? It cost you tens of thousands of dollars to fix it. Send us the bill. Send us the bill. It's 100% our fault. We broke it. We're stupid Americans. And if we're going to charge you an extra 10% tariffs on your stuff, which may be justifiable, but at the end of the day, we broke that artwork. We should absolutely pay for all of its repairs. Okay? I'm sorry. We're fat over here. Not me personally, but a lot of us Americans are. We're fat. We're disgusting. We are. We're just giant blobs of graham cracker shit. And I don't know what else to say to you other people in other countries. You have your problems, but I'm going to tell you about ours. And that's our problem is shrimp and grits. Shrimp and grits, Subway sandwiches, and Quiznos subs, if they're still around. And we're just a big old fucking Wendy's Arby's fiasco. We'll just put all these burgers and Burger King and McDonald's and Subway and fucking Cheesecake Factory and stick it all in a blender and just spin it up on high and just fucking. That's what we are. We are. We're disgusting. We're just disgusting fucking blobs of shit. The movie The Blob is just about one American. And basically eats its way across the eastern seaboard. That's what that movie is about. But obviously, it's just when you want to open up Instagram or any social media, it's just panic. Not at the disco, but it's just panic. It's just a bomb going off. And to me, it's just a distraction at this point from the real thing is that there are people out there that are trying to get you to panic so they can take your money, take your property, and take your rights away. Like they're like, while you're focusing on what's going on with Israel and Iran, which obviously is going to make oil prices go up because that's just how it works. Well, you're focused in on that. Some legislation is being passed in Congress, or something's going on in your township, or the stock market is, they're going to make you want to sell your stocks or reallocate your stocks so that the big bankers over at Berkshire Hathaway or BlackRock or State Street or Vanguard can go ahead and gobble up what you just sold and basically keep that in their arsenal so that they can basically corner the market and jack up prices to the point where they're making money and you're losing money. These are more general theories, but they have validity to it. So my idea is this. I want to diversify myself I love to diversify at this point in my ideas, in my projects, in my portfolio, in my ability to do many things. Now I've definitely been all eggs in one basket type of person for a very long time, because then essentially I needed that one thing to succeed. If it didn't, I was screwed. Walking on eggshells, eggs in one basket, whatever you want to use for a phrase. I was all about this situation had to work for me. If not, game over, I was screwed. But now I'm in a position where it's like, okay, I got a little bit of time here. I can start to spread out and see if I can get some avenues going to where my success can be more cemented, where instead of just basically having the table stand up by 2 legs, it might be 3 or 4 or 8. It might have them eagle claws on it. One of them cool 1932 mahogany dinner tables there that you got to fucking wax every 22 seconds and put that little spray on there, that little wood spray on there. Otherwise, and then the dust hits it and you got to clean it. And it's a fucking nightmare. You know what I'm talking about. But ultimately, like, these distractions of what you see on Instagram, these distractions of these crappy documentaries on Netflix or whatever, it's all a game to distract you. It's all a game to scare you. And my goal has basically been like, all right, is everything as expensive as everyone's saying it should be? Well, it's like everybody says if you're not making $120,000 or $125,000 a year, you're suffocating, you're dying, you're dead, you're broke, you're poverty stricken. Well, I'll say this: it depends on where you live. It depends on where you live. If you live in Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York City, yes, you're probably, maybe you're fucked. I don't know. But fucking why the hell would you want to? What are you paying? For what you're paying? What are you getting in return? What are you getting in return besides maybe riots on your streets, crackhead homeless people on the corner, ICE raids every 28 seconds? What are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of paying that extra money? I say if you're going to live in a city, you should get some major conveniences. And I feel like that's being taken away from a lot of people. So it's like, well, now I'm stuck in traffic. What is the convenience of being stuck in traffic when you're paying $2,000 for a 300 square foot studio apartment with no elevator? Please explain it to me. And then you got to walk down the street to a tiny, tiny Whole Foods that charges $17 for a quart of strawberries. Please explain to me how the fuck that's convenient. So I don't buy this theory about if you're 125 grand, you're completely poor. You just put a gun in your mouth if you can afford one and blow your brains out. It's like there's no validity to that. I don't believe so. And I have some things like it is a constant war of distractions versus investments in your time. Like the idea that everything is expensive is simply not true. It's just not. And I will obviously once again go through the idea of, okay, what is expensive? Shopping at Whole Foods is expensive. Shopping at your local grocery store is not. Okay? Having your phone bill with AT&T is expensive. Having your phone bill with Mint Mobile is not. Having your internet through certain places is expensive, but having your internet through other places is not. Now, the reason that I didn't specify specific companies is because I couldn't actually give you one until, well, just a few days ago. So if you go back in the history of this podcast, I've said some terrible things about Xfinity, which is a internet service, cable service, cell phone service provided to you by Comcast. Comcast, I have hated from the bottom of my heart for the longest time because after like Earthlink and basically like DSL modems and dial-up. After dial-up, the big thing was cable. Everybody wanted cable. So cable obviously came rushing in, bought up all the contracts, made it a duopoly, and basically so there was no competition. And they could go in, they could charge whatever prices they want. During COVID, they wouldn't even come and fix the line to my house that was killing my VPN link with my clients. So basically they wouldn't come because COVID. That was the COVID policy, where I was literally talking to doctors and nurses all fucking day, and it was killing my every time the wind would blow, it would shake the line and kill my connection to the house. It was fantastic. I loved it. And that's when the war really started with them. And they would just happily jack up their prices every couple of years, and it wasn't like a little bit. It was like, 100%, 200%. And then you'd look at the prices for new customers, and it's like, well, I've been a customer, an existing customer. What about, plans for me? And it's like, well, fuck you. What about you? I've done this skit before, so we're gonna get to it. And it went from a little battle to a giant war in which I could not win. Well, that war does continue, but for now, I've won. There is now peace in this Middle East. So it started with, what have I eliminated? Well, I eliminated my insurance altogether because I just, quite frankly, I was like, wait a minute, why? My environment is such low risk. My cars are paid for. It's like, what do I need you for? You're just taking money from me. So in that case, fuck you. You're not going to do anything for me if my car does get totaled. Say my car's worth $5,000. It's going to be $1,000, $2,000 deductible. They're going to say it's worth $4,000, and they're going to give me $2,000. That's what they're going to do. They're just fucking assholes like that. Especially if they deem me at fault and they just deny my freaking claim altogether. Now I've got this problem and I have to go get a lawyer to justify my claim. Now I got to pay that lawyer. So what's the point? Why didn't bother? Why am I going to continue to give you $25 a month or full coverage at $50 to $60 a month? And those insurance premiums are just going to go up anyways because they have to pay their shitbag employees. So why even bother dealing with that? So just cancel the fucking thing altogether. If you're going to give me attitude, I'm going to give you a cancellation notice. And I'm going to pay my final bill of $8 and move on with my life. Speaking of which, $8 check from Eversource. Thank you very much, Eversource. Appreciate you. Thank God it's not CMP. I have to admit, Eversource, probably the best one to deal with, especially down at the seacoast. I thought I was going to go with Unitel, but apparently Eversource does a really good job of negotiating for its kilowatt prices. So I'm glad to be with them. And my electric bills generally are pretty low because everything I use is pretty economical. I'm smart with how I utilize energy within the house. So nice little victory for me, keeping my utility prices low. So that's victory number one. Victory number two came with canceling my insurance altogether. Like health insurance, I never needed that to begin with. I have yet to blow my lower disc out. And then victory number three in the war against basically rising prices and stuff like that was my insurance company telling them to go kick rocks. But you've been a client for so long. Well, it's like, yeah, you gave me shit. And quite frankly, I'm not in the mood for anybody giving me shit for any reason because, you know what? I'm busy. I don't have time to deal with you, and you don't deserve my money anymore. I'm going to go spend that on groceries, or I'm going to go spend that on weekend getaways with my girl, or I'm going to go spend that on just whatever the fuck I want. But it just isn't going to be you. It isn't going to be you. So kick rocks, piss off. So I'm saving money there. And then I discovered these beautiful MVMOs, which I've talked to you on previous podcasts about. MVMOs is secondary carriers that go on Verizon's towers or go on AT&T's towers, and they cost you like $20, $25, maybe $30 a month. And you get the same beautiful coverage that you would get from whomever your regular carrier was. You get a selection of phones. My phone was cheap, and I'm paying $20 a month. So I'm paying $20 a month. Basically, I was paying more for my insurance that I canceled, which now completely and then some covers the cost of what I'm paying for my monthly phone bill, which is $20 a month. So awesome. $20 a month. Huge victory there. Killed my car insurance. That was $25 a month. Got rid of that. So now I'm actually in the surplus here. All right, cool. What else is there? Well, once again, the elephant in the room, the Comcast bill. The Comcast bill, when I first got it, was $30. went up to 60. It was like 60 for about a year. And then I got the last bill, and I was like, oh, this bill's a little bit less, which means they're about to drive the price up. All right, and it was about $93. I'm like, here we go again. I'm going to have to call them and say, like, hey, what are you going to do for me? And the first time I called them, I was actually out of state, and they said, oh, we're going to drop it down to this. Oh, $28, that's pretty good. And then I get the bill. I go, hey, this lady here, I called at this time, from this location on this date. And she said my price is going to be like that. She goes, oh, that was reflecting on your last plan. So that we can't honor that because actually that's with your expired plan. It's like, oh, you're telling me I could have actually made money on my old plan, saved money on my old plan, $30 a month on my old plan. I called them twice, those fuckers, and they were wrong both times. So I was like, okay. So what are you going to do for me now? Because now I'm kind of annoyed. And they're like, well, we say we could do. Oh, we can pay you. So 68. Oh, 68, huh? So you are still gonna take more money from me, and then fees and things like that. They're like, yeah, we can offer you 68. I was like, okay. And I just literally sat there and I go, I'm gonna think about it. Because I noticed when I moved here, there was 2 lines running to the house. Well, first thing I did was I pulled up 180 Parsons, and I was like, okay, well, let me see here. Let me see. Okay, they're available. Okay, cool. I'm going to give them a call. I'll be like, all right, well, I'm having this problem with Xfinity. I'm at a war. I've been at a war with them. So basically like 5 years, 6 years of just them jacking up prices. Well, around 150, about between 100 and 200 megabit download. Upload speeds are around like 10 and 20, which is dog shit. I'm like, what are you guys going to do for me? Well, we can offer you 300 megabit for $30 a month. Free installation. We'll give you the modem. Do you have your own router? Sure do. They're like, yeah, $30 sounds good. You got auto pay? Sure, why not? Absolutely. So it's like, you know what? I understand that they're probably no better. I'm sure their customer service is probably, got its problems too, and I'm probably going to have some fights with them. But it's like, here's the thing. For the money, and I've been battling with Comcast for the longest time, and it's like, is this my chance to finally, at least for now, put the dagger in Comcast's chest and declare victory over this company? It's like, you don't like it? Fucking you can cancel, but now you have no internet whatsoever. That was their thing. It's like, you're not going to cancel, you little puss bag. We've got millions of customers everywhere. We don't care about you. I'm just some customer service rep. Don't give a shit. But it's like, yeah, you could think that way, but it's like, this is my money. And I've been on a crusade about saving money not spending money where it doesn't need to be spent. In an economy where things are getting more expensive, depending upon the situation that you're in, depending upon where you live, depending upon how you choose to live, it's like, okay, what am I going to do here? And I was like, well, it's obvious. It's like, okay, so you can come on a Saturday morning at 8 o'clock after I get out of the gym, and you can come install this shit for free, get me all set up for $30 a month on a 300 megabit plan. I do a speed test on Comcast's plan for $60 a month. It was about to be, it was going to be $93. I owe them $9, by the way. And actually the thing on my app still says I owe them $93. It's either $9 or nothing. It's like, listen, I'm going to pay you $9 or I'm going to pay you nothing. Not a single dime is going to be spent if I don't have to. What are you going to do? Take me to fucking Comcast court? Suck my dick. So the whole point was, okay. So this guy, Stefan, nicest dude. Looked like Ari Maddie from Kill Tony. He comes in. Had a little problem with my router. Spent some time on it. Did a reset. Made a couple calls. Got the thing up and running. Did some speed tests. Got all logged in. The box, first of all, the router, little tiny router, nice little, or modem, nice little modem. I had one like that. It was by a company called Dynex. It was a nice modem. Got it all set up. He explained the lights to me, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'd rather know what the lights do rather than not. He explains it to me. Super nice kid. Do a speed test. Mind you, Comcast was 189 download, 15 upload. This was 322 download, 335 upload. So sending files up was as fast, if not faster. because it's light. It's Fidium light. It's light. It's fiber optic. So it's like, did I do it? Did I win? Did I defeat the almighty Xfinity by Comcast? I no longer have to call them. I don't need the fucking app on my phone. I don't need any of this shit. This is glorious. I don't have to see their faces again for who knows how long. And here's the thing. There's still cable. Cable is now officially the obsolete version of internet access. You have Starlink out there, but Starlink's a little expensive. It's good for remote areas, but it is expensive. But now I'm running fiber optic line. Fiber optic line in the beautiful countryside house setting. And it's like $30 a month. She's like $25, $30 a month. Fucking scoreboard. Absolute scoreboard. Blazing fast. Matter of fact, this is going to be the first upload on fiber. I'm curious to see how quickly it goes up. So I was like, I'm like, dude, as soon as you leave, I'm calling Comcast and canceling this shit. I called them. I went right to cancellation, and the guy immediately was like, yeah, I need to cancel my subscription, and I also need to just tell me what my final bill is. And of course, he went right for the choke, and he's like, oh, I don't want to see you go. You've been a great customer, blah, blah, blah. Just like, oh, okay, well, in that case, did you want to maybe we could explore plans? I'm like, did you get your... Now, what the thing is they're trying to see if you're actually just looking to get a better deal on your plan. But he asked, like, have you already signed up with another person? Yep. Oh, yeah. Already signed up, already plugged in, ready to go. I'm actually calling you using the brand new Wi-Fi. He's like, oh, do you mind if I ask you how much you're paying? Because, I mean, maybe we can get you a deal. It's like, good. It's like, how much are you paying with the new one? I go, $30 a month. Oh. Okay. It's like, he's got nothing for that. He ain't got shit for that. And then he's like, well, maybe we can get, who's your phone plan with? Because, we're offering, we can get you started on Xfinity Mobile for around like $25 a month. May I ask what you have right now for a carrier? $20 a month. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, no shit, genius. You think this is my fucking first fight, really, with you assholes? First, I'm not changing. My phone's paid off. I'm paying $20 a month for my phone. So I'm not sucking off the teat that is Comcast anymore. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I've finally taken the dagger to the biggest demon, the shadow of my colossus. I finally got him. I finally won this battle. This is the big battle, ultimately the war. I don't know what's going to come down the pike, but I'm pretty sure like Comcast is now going to be on the defensive because of the fact that Fidium can come in, start installing fiber in many neighborhoods, and fiber is better. It is. It's legitimately better. The cabling is a little more sensitive, but if it's run correctly or run underground, you can't fight. You can't win that one. Fiber optic versus coaxial, fiber wins every time. It's just faster. It's thinner. It's better. So basically, like, look at it this way. It's like, for my electric bill's small. I know other people, their electric bill's through the roof. It's like hundreds, 200s, 300s. Like, no, mine. No, I don't think so. Because I've set up everything where I can just turn everything off at a moment's notice and basically just let the sun shine in. And then basically, like, then I have my insurance. None. Zero. And then I have my phone bill, $20. And then I have my cable bill, $30. What else do I got? Any subscriptions? Pandora, $6. That's it. In a rising economy, my bills are falling. Compensating for the fact that I now live in this area, which is obviously a little more expensive just to like live here. The expense of living here is the most expensive thing. Everything else is next to nothing. My commute here and there, it's like nothing. Got a beautiful bar, a sit-outside bar just down the street. It's like 2 minutes away. Chasey Wasey's Parky Warky is 11 minutes down the road. And then you have like where else I need to be. 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive. Nice roads, no traffic, no highway travel, no highways. I don't need a highway at all for any reason. This is the cool thing, There's a little bit of traffic in Portsmouth. Maybe it's because of the traffic circle or a protest here and there, but whatever, no big deal. But honestly, it's like, this is so much easier moving about. And then when you take into account, like when I go grocery shopping, everybody goes grocery shopping. These are the realities of life. People are going places just because they're used to dealing with the bullshit and spending this money, where they just don't ignore the middle aisles and go for, look, this is your money. Why are you wasting it? Why are you wasting it? Why wouldn't you go to war on the very things that are taking money out of your pocket and just going online and complaining about it? But we've had this bad. I'm telling you that I'm doing this stuff. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I'm doing. All right. And I've done this, and they've all been successful ventures. They've all been successful attempts. And I'm minimizing my situation, minimizing the risks of my situation. So some of the risks that I take, they're less likely. Whereas people have expensive car payments with expensive insurance on them, and long commutes, and huge gas prices, and large grocery bills, and large cell phone bills, and large electricity bills, and large families with bigger expenses and larger problems and large health insurance claims. And it's just like, I don't have time for any of that, because I won't survive and I won't be able to manage it. So I just decided to take all the responsibility onto myself and make sure that I can handle the workload that's required of having such low expenses. And I'm able to accomplish that. And I'm able to, just by doing the research myself, get huge victories on the expense front. And then I can go and do cool shit that I guess people with $125,000 are the ones that are able to afford to do this shit. Whereas I can go and I can do little things and have the fun. And this little war on Comcast is just another victory on the notch. Okay, it's another victory. And now I can get ready for what is about to come, which is hyperinflation. That's the final thing I just want to talk about before we get out of here. Like, People have mentioned that they're scared to invest in the stock market. I understand it. I understand the fear behind it. But we talked about it in the beginning. The picture of the bomb going off. Like, you want to you want to know what fear looks like? This is what fear looks like. I'll show you this picture. This is Tiananmen Square. This is a famous picture of a dude standing in front of 4 Chinese communist tanks. He stood there they could have easily run him over. They didn't. He stood there because he's like, fuck it. Because he's like, fuck you. My cause, forget about those assholes who are protesting and rioting against a few ICE officers in Chicago and New York and LA. That dude right there, standing in front of 4 tanks, that's the dude. You go ahead. If you're an ICE protester, go stand in front of 4 tanks. Get back to me. Stand in front of that. You got balls if you could stand in front of that. That is a real, and that was different. The Tiananmen Square massacre, that was a completely different animal. Let me get back to the point here, though. That is the idea of a distraction. This whole situation in the Middle East, the whole situation in Ukraine, the whole situation with immigration, just in general, it's all distraction. Because what they're doing is, while you're freaking out about your investment plans or spending money on this shit, you're just paying into ultimately what is their takeover. You have to be part of the system. You have to be part of this rigged game. You have to play. So what's going to happen is, in terms of the stock market, everybody's worried about this, that, and the other thing, that they're not focused on just investing in the stock market. A thing that is ultimately, it doesn't fail if you do it right. The only way to do it right is to just invest. So people say, I'm scared to invest. Well, you're not scared to look at things that scare you on the internet. You're not afraid to look at, protests and road rage and just all this other crap that you just invest your time in. It's not even an investment. Waste your time, excuse me. Why don't you just, I look at it like this. People are afraid to lose all their money in the stock market. They buy high, they sell low, they get scared, they don't know how to, or they just never invest at all. They're like, I don't have time for that shit. There's plenty of people who will invest for you. And all you have to do is contribute. There's 401ks, there's Roth IRAs, there's money market accounts, there's this, that, and the other thing. Now, if you invest properly, you just take your time, you get with the big companies, and you just let that money sit and you continuously do it, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Because it's a rigged game. It's a rigged game, as Ryan Kim put it. Now, there have been some times where things have been a little scary, but in the long term, it's designed to go up. We've always been printing money, especially nowadays. We've always been printing money more and more, because right now we can't afford to have anything fail. So all we do is, in order to keep the economy from crashing altogether, we keep printing more money, we lower interest rates, and we let things just continue on up because we don't have any other choice right now. So when you look at like 5 years of the stock market, it actually looks a little wobbly. But this is 5 years, and this is actually not bad. So when you look at 5 years of the stock market, if you were to put your money in October of 2020, you'd actually be up a decent amount. A real decent amount. That's the historical chart. But if you're worried about like a 1929 crash, you have to understand, the banks, the government, the big secret squirrel fucking investment groups, if things were to sink so low to that point where there'd be blood in the streets, they're just going to buy up all the assets. No one can afford to have housing prices drop 50%, 30%. They just can't, because then they know that all these big investors will come in and buy up all the shit, and they'll just pay cash for it. They're doing it now. They'll come in and buy up all, even the small-time investors, they'll come in and buy up all the shit. They'll come in and buy up all the stocks, and there'll be none left for you. They'll just buy it all up because they're the smart ones. While you're panicking, they're just going in and scooping up all the deals. That's what I'm doing in the freaking grocery stores where everybody's complaining about egg prices. I'm like, fuck it, then I just don't buy eggs. I go and buy something else. And then egg prices come down, and then I buy. It's like, okay, that's a manageable price. I'll pick that up. And then I go and I know what prices are low because I'm a student of this of savings. So I just go in there and I'm like, I know what is going to be the cheapest available stuff. And I go there and I pick it up and I don't hesitate. And for me, it's just another day. And I'm not taking my money out. I'm now in a position where I don't need to take my money out at all. Like, I don't need it for anything. So it just stays in there, and I'm going to accumulate more. And there's going to be a correction in the summertime. And in that correction, I'm going to scoop up even more stuff. And so are the big corporations too. They're buying up Bitcoin. They're buying up freaking AI stocks. They're buying up everything. But diverse. I have gold. I own gold. I own silver. I have funds that pay me 10%. So I'm just going to keep doing this while everybody else is panicking. Now, you look at that chart, it's like, well, there's going to be a huge crash. What's a huge crash? You mean that huge crash? You mean, what about the 20-year? 2009. That was the last great financial crisis. Look at how quickly things recovered. That's insane. We're talking multi-millions and millions and millions of dollars if you would have bought then. You know, Bitcoin was like a few $100 back then in 2009. Imagine if you would have bought like, I don't know, $1,000 in Bitcoin back then. You'd be retiring. Imagine you bought a few $1,000 of anything back then. You'd be retiring. Even if you put $15 a week, it's $20 a week into just some stocks or whatever. Over the course of what, 20, 25 years? What about the 30-year? 30 fucking years. 1996. Apple was $6 a share. What are you scared of? You scared of the whole thing crumbling down? At that point, even if the whole thing comes crumbling down, you're going to have bigger problems than you losing all your money. There's going to be a civil war at that point. If the stock market is functioning in any capacity, it's going to recover, and it's going to recover so freaking hard that if you have money in there, you're going to do well for yourself. Very well, because you just leave it in there and you're buying in the lows as well as buying in the highs. Dollar cost averaging, that's kind of how that works. You're just putting your money in and you're knowing when you're going to cash out. As long as you do that, and if it's give or take a year or two. But ultimately, if there's some huge crash, it's like over the course of 50 years, over the course of the stock market's all time, from 1920, that's every single crash the stock market's ever had. If you're looking at this chart, if you're watching, it's basically just a whoosh to the moon. Tell me where that crash is going to be. Tell me when it's going to happen. I'm not going to time the market. I mean, if I lose 50% of my assets, I'll just buy more. How many companies have actually gone bankrupt at that time? Companies go bankrupt all the time. Companies fail all the time. But if you're diversified at that point, then your portfolio is going to look like that. That doesn't even include the dividends that you receive or the bonuses that you receive or the 3-for-1 splits that you're going to receive. A 3-for-1 split is when, or excuse me, a 1-for-3 split, when basically a stock, they decide they're going to cut the price of it down to like, a quarter of it, but they give you 3 more. So if your stock's $100, now they're $33, but you got 3 of them. Generally, before the split happens, freaking the stock goes through the roof. The stock price goes through the roof. So you can make a lot of money off that. But I'm like, what is everybody... They're too busy. People in general are too focused on the fear. In the meantime, the ability to live a good life, cut your costs, and have a huge retirement portfolio, it's all right there in front of you. You just have to, once again, ignore the noise. This is your stock market history. And it's going to go up, and it's going to go up even more. There's going to be a 10, 20% correction. Some of your stocks are probably going to get cut in half by 40, 50%. You know what you're going to do? You're going to sell them? No, you're going to buy more of them. You're going to buy more of them. Well, at least that's not what you're going to do. You're going to fucking freak out because somebody didn't make your iced coffee right in the morning. I'm going to go and buy more of them. I'm going to do this. I'm playing from behind. I know I'm playing from behind. This is my one chance to catch up, and I'm not going to miss out on this opportunity. I have to work twice as hard. I have to move twice as quickly because I'm 20 years behind. That's the way I see it. I'm 20 years behind. I'm 10, 15 years behind. But I have a chance to really catch up. And as long as I stay healthy and focused and disciplined, I can do this. I can make this happen. I can make a life for myself and the people around me. I'm doing okay. And I'm not and this $125,000, it's like, to whom? Why don't you start with consistency? Start with consistency, because a lot of these people that are working at some of these big firms, they're working in customer service or whatever, investors, they're just, maybe in 5-10 years, a lot of these ones, they're Q&A people, they're going to get replaced by algorithms. They're going to get replaced by GPT or Rock. That's what they are. They're just going to get replaced by that. Where's your 90, 100, 125K now? You just got replaced by a quantum computer. I'm not. I know I'm not. The fact is, I'm still going to have money coming in. I'm still going to have a home to go to. I'm still going to have some options. There are some things where I'm definitely, I have my concerns, but that's the part of the game. But ultimately, it's like, I'm making my play by reducing all these costs, ignoring the bullshit that's going on. It's like, I don't care if I'll have to be honest with you. I understand there's wars going on and people are dying and there's missiles flying and you can see them from outer fucking space. I understand that. And they're hitting targets and doing all kinds of things and possibly causing World War III. And it's like, what do you want me to do about it? Because when the conflict ends, it either ends in 2 ways. 1, the world blows up. There's no more stock market, nuclear winter, we're all dead. Or 2, there's a ceasefire. Things calm down, stock market recovers, people get rich. 1, I can't control. 2, I can. All I got to do is stay awake, stay healthy, have money in my pocket, and go to work when I see the charts. Focus on the charts. I just showed you the all-time chart for the New York Stock Exchange. It just goes like that. Even the 5-year, the 10-year, the 20-year. It's insane. So what am I doing? Just letting this money sit there, putting it in the savings account where it makes 0.00001%. I'm not doing that. I'm enjoying my life. I'm making my delicious coffee in the morning. I'm going for walks with my dog. I'm enjoying my time. All this stuff is free. It's free or it's low cost. And I'm winning battles against the corporate man simply by having a few more options in my bank. A few more options. A few more bullets in my gun, and I fire them away at the corporate man. I'm winning. I'm winning some of these wars, and it's nice to know. And I get that my time is limited with my ability to get some of these victories, but I'm still making these victories, and this momentum is helping me push towards some, I guess what you'd call escape velocity. Where basically at the end of the day I can say, fuck you, I don't have to do this. Like if I really had to go to the doctors, now I'm beholden to the health insurance companies. If I really had to go to the doctors, I'm now beholden to the health insurance companies. I just am. Because that market's shit. Our health services are shit. Just like any other place, but still, it's shit. And I'd have to be beholden to them. I'd have to listen to some primary care physician who tells me this, that, and the other thing and offers me Percocets instead of vitamin D or something or whatever. And it's like, now I got to go deal with that. Great. And then my deductible comes in and I'm fucked. Well, there goes that money. Or I got a $400 a month car payment because I wanted to buy something new because I'm a fucking idiot. What's good is that going to do? Now I got to pay it. Now because I have a car loan, I have to pay the insurance company. Well, how much is it to pay for? How much is that? How much is it to register that car? Some new cars, they cost like $1,000 a year to register. $1,000. $1,000. You know how many freaking shares of Soundhound you could buy with that? So I don't have to. You have to be beholden to them. Well, fuck. Now I got to pay that car off. Now I'm upside down in it, so I got to roll that negative equity over into another car. Well, great. Now I'm screwed on that end. I don't have time for that. Nobody should have time for that, but they're too focused on it. And then you go to the grocery store, you get fucking blinded by all the pretty colors and the red dyes and shit like that. You're going down the middle aisles because you're clearly a novice. It's like, get in, get out. Get what you need. You don't need to be in the grocery... Nobody needs to be in the grocery store for more than 5-10 minutes. Honestly, you should be in the checkout aisle after 5. And you have options. That's the thing. You have options. You should have... If you're in a place that has only one grocery store, you're in the wrong place. Okay? As far as like chain grocery stores, if you're in like a Letterkenny type of setting, that's different. First of all, good on you. But second of all, I have options. They're not far away from each other. So I have the power of the almighty dollar to use those options to my benefit. You want to put yourself in a position where you have these options, where you can say, fuck you to the man. Like, your prices are too high. I'm going this way. Your subscription plan is too expensive. I'm going with these people. Your insurance is bullshit. I'm canceling it. This doctor sucks. I'm not using him anymore. Or using any doctor in general. Look, you're not going to follow any of this advice? Great. I know I'm going to follow my advice. It's working. And I'm not going to suck the corporate... I'm not going to do jobs for people that I don't want to work with. I don't want to work for you. I don't care if you pay more money. You suck. So I'm taking steps to remove myself from situations financially or emotionally where it's like, I don't have time for any of this. I want to live a quiet life and enjoy myself here. I spent too damn long in places where I didn't want to be to give this up. Now I feel like I'm stuck, like in a good situation. I put myself in a good situation. I'm kind of glued here a little bit. I got some glue. I got some foundation. Can I hold on to it? Let's see how much in the next 3 to 5 years can I truly make that big leap and cement myself here with a good foundation financially, mentally, physically. That's what I'm focused on. I'm not worried about gas prices going up fucking $1 a gallon. I don't care. I was driving around in a big Lincoln Continental with a 32 valve V8 when gas prices were $5 a gallon. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, I don't have car insurance on it. I don't have a car payment on it, and my where I need to go is not far away. So I'm going to just keep rocking this. And I know what it's like to be in the middle of that, and my weekly amounts were not a lot. I know how to do a lot or just enough with very little. And I wish more people knew how to do that, but they don't. And quite frankly, because they don't, I'm going to take advantage of their shortcomings, and just like any other corporate entity, in order to make myself more cemented. If they're going to go ahead and be stupid and not basically follow some of the examples that I'm setting, then I'm going to take advantage of them and their stupidity in order to make myself richer. Because quite frankly, they're never going to learn, so why bother sticking around and teaching them how to tie their shoes when I can just wear their shoes? It's fine with me. It's fine with me in a relaxed setting, knowing that if people want to continue fucking up, let them. I'm not in a mood for charity. I give this podcast is free. All right? That's my charity. This is my weekly therapy, per se. But quite frankly, I give this out for free. So this is my gift to you, my warning to you, my advice to you. And if you don't want to take any of it, it's like, hey, if you don't want to know Grandpa's recipe, I'm like, I got nothing else for you. If you want to do the things that I do, I give examples of them all the time. Like I said, if you don't like your job, quit. Go find a better one. If you don't like the environment you live in, plan a move. Get the fuck out of there. If Los Angeles or Chicago or New York is treating you like shit, well, go find another place somewhere else. There are jobs out there. Yeah, maybe they don't pay as much, but it's in a setting that's much more comfortable, much more calm, and you can flex a little bit. You can relax a little bit. It's like, life doesn't have to be difficult. It is hard. But you're only making it harder for yourself. Like my bills are going down. My lifestyle's getting easier. My work ethic is obviously still on point. And all those experts out there, it's like, yeah, you might be an expert, but quite frankly, I don't need your expertise right now. I don't need that expert. I don't need that health expert who tells me I need more globulin, or that this is that or the other thing, or your risks of getting into a car accident or this. It's like, I understand the risks. All right. I understand the risks. It's called life. All right. I was given that risk 40 years ago. It's like, well, figure it out. And I wasn't given enough information when I graduated high school. I wasn't given enough information when I got out of college. I wasn't given enough information when I moved to Manchester and slaved away there for 12 years. Well, now I'm here. I got enough information. And it turns out all these people, these experts, they were pretty much wrong. And now I'm doing these little things here, and each little thing that I'm doing that's saving me money and saving me time and saving me work and saving me pain, it's like a little bit, and now I got this big chunk of options. It's this big chunk of options that I can do. I can do what I want with it, and nobody can tell me otherwise. And everything you see here is a result of me doing what I want and making decisions that are best for me. And it has ultimately blossomed into some people benefiting from it, but only those who deserve it. Anyways, I'm starting to milk this whole, now I'm starting to lecture here. But just remember this. I'm going to pull this up one more time. Look at that photo. All right? You're not going to lose your money. Unless it sits still. If your money sits still, then you are going to lose your money. And you're not going to be able to keep up, and you're going to fall behind. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, hit me up on my website, positivesarcasm.com. You can also slide into my DMs at Instagram at positive_sarcasm. Keep it clean, please. Please. Questions, concerns, comments, you can hit me through those locations, or you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Podcast, you can find it. We're on YouTube. You can find it on Rumble. For video, and then of course audio anywhere podcasts are available. Hope you like the new studio. If you have questions about what else I got here, go ahead and hit me up. Cost saving methods, things that I have as far as equipment and stuff. But it's nice to have a nice little organized studio again. I love it here. It's fantastic. I got to work on the lighting a little bit. My apologies. So one thing I never really had good podcast lighting. Never really did. But maybe that's the one thing I can figure out. But until then, I'm relaxing. So thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing, and I'll catch up with you all next week. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio, actually alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast, but for entertainment purposes only, because I'm not an expert in anything. But this is a Positive Sarcasm presentation.